And ladies and gentlemen, you could hear the commentators in the crowd going crazy because of course we are seeing none other than God Young Ho coming out to play here, and if he wins this, KT will be up 3-0 over CJ. One win away from an easy victory.
If he wins this?
Oh, I'm sorry. When he wins this, KT will be up 3-0 over CJ. Dude, I gotta give some credit to my man Harangi though. I mean, Harangi.
Yeah, the two losses Flash has is against creative Protoss players, and Harangi is a top-notch creative Protoss player, so we shouldn't be too sure.
That is true. That is true. TVP has been his only weakness so far in Pro League. However, I do believe that Flash actually played against Harangi once during the regular season, and he won that. I don't remember how. I don't really remember the game, but it was just yet another win for Flash. Harangi, as you can see, is 50% this season. 3-2 against Terran, not so bad. And well, going against Flash though, look at him. He definitely looks a little bit nervous. The map's gonna be Sniper Ridge, by the way, and I'm praying for Harangi, but it's looking like it's going to be another KT sweep here in the second day of the playoffs. I mean, you know, CJ is pretty notorious for choking in playoffs, but I thought they'd like at least put up a better fight than this. I mean, 4-1 and then, you know, potentially another 4-1 or 4-0 even today. That's kind of not so good. But anyway, let us not count CJ out just yet. Flash is going to be the orange Terran in the top right. That would make Harangi the yellow Protoss in the top left.
I'm hoping that Harangi does something crazy that actually works. Come on, do some proxies.
Well, I mean, so the way that actually let me talk about the way that Stardust beat Flash first, because I think that one was a little less intelligent, I want to say. I mean, basically Flash was playing on Electric Circuit, did the standard greedy build where he made a very fast third command center to take that back mineral only. Stardust proxied, 3 gateways and a robo and just killed him. So that, doesn't take too much thought. That's just Flash being greedy and getting punished. The Deer game, I think, was a lot more interesting because apparently Deer had studied Flash's scanning patterns and purposely hid his Reaver tech so that Flash's scans wouldn't catch it, and so Flash actually cancelled his turrets because he didn't see the support bay. So he thought there wouldn't be a Reaver, so he thought, he just wanted to optimize the build a little bit and not waste the money on turrets, and that ended up, being the main factor in his defeat. So I don't know. Let's see if Harangi can do something similarly clever, or if he'll just try, I don't know, some kind of bulldog or something. I mean, there is no back expansion on this map, so Flash, I mean, you can go for the greedy third command center on this map because the third base is relatively close, relatively easy to hold as a Terran, but you can't be quite as greedy as you would on Electric Circuit.
But you never know. Flash is known to be very greedy. There was one time he just went 14cc every game and lost because of it many times. Not going to do something silly like that this game though. Even got his gas before the command center, so probably a factory first.
Indeed. Oh, I have an interesting note from Harem here. Apparently Stardust said he had pre-planned out his proxy for the game. I don't know what that means. Does that mean, oh, if I play Flash on this map, I'm just gonna proxy like a mofo? I'm pretty sure that was the extent of his thinking. He'd probably try to make it sound really smart and prepared in the interview, but the actual game plan was you prepare a regular build for anybody else besides Flash, but then you're like, okay, if it's Flash, I'm just gonna do something ridiculous. It's reasonable, man. It's reasonable. Anyway, Flash looks like he's gonna scout the bottom right and then go cross map here. I've been told that this is because he wants to check for a 12 next and see it as soon as possible, so he knows whether to bunker rush it or not. I'm not sure I believe that, but there it is. It's like more Marines being made for Flash. Seems to be just a standard FD opening so far.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what Harangue is going to do. Seems like it's just building one gate and letting that SV in. That's not... I mean, it's not a big deal, but you do want to keep your opponent in the dark as much as possible. And Flash sees everything, that there is no robe or not a second gate.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, you know, you're right. There's not that much in the main base anyway, but, you know, obviously he could have done something like skip range and get the fastest, you know, do the fastest DT rush imaginable or something like that, you know. It just, getting that SCV scout in obviously rules all those things out. And I think you're absolutely right in that the lack of a robo is a huge indication as well that this is in fact going to be a one-gate expand build from Harangue. And it looks like Flash trying to catch this Dragoon here by hiding his Marines on that high ground ridge, or not so much hiding, but kind of laying a bit of a trap there for that Dragoon. He's got to be careful though. When that second Goon gets there, I think Harangue's going to be able to muscle down those Marines anyway, so Flash is going to pull back a little bit. He has pulled guys off gas, so this is definitely a pretty standard FD here. Going to get, you know, 5 or 6 Marines, a siege tank, and then some vultures with mines. And there's the command center as well, just expanding behind this. So the way this is going to play out is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just about to say that I like that Flash is playing this safe, because more often than not he loses because he plays a bit too greedy and risky, as we talked about before. So factory before CC, I like it.
Factory before CC is like Flash being a good little boy here, not being too greedy. Anyway, it looks like Flash trying to sneak this vulture around. Harangue is gonna notice that and try and stop that. It does have spider mines already, so Harangue's gonna be a little bit careful. He doesn't want the vulture laying spider mines like on his retreat path or the reinforcement path. Otherwise, if Flash had actually got that vulture around and laid some mines there, he could actually push from the front with the Marines and tanks. And if Harangue was like microing back and, you know, doing like a fighting retreat, he could accidentally like step on a mine and lose all his goons. And whoa! Wait, what?
That was close.
Oh my god, he just did like
the
mine diffusing trick with a single Dragoon. I think it's because he shot the mine once already or something. That was really weird. Anyway.
Yeah, he got one hit off.
Wow. Thought he would take
and
the hit for sure.
that move you're talking about is a classic game where Boxer did that. It just worked out beautifully. I don't remember what the name of the map is, but it was like Pinta's Place a few years back.
Dude, yeah, that was such a sick game. Well, what was that map? It was the space platform tile set. I don't remember the map, but yeah, I'm sure anybody who's watched like any highlight videos of StarCraft knows what we're talking about. Anyway, Harangue has just gone for 3-gate obs here after his expansion. No Reaver tech, which is somewhat unusual nowadays. You almost always go for that Reaver tech and then, you know, go for a relatively quick third base as a Protoss. But anyway, Flash is actually pushed all the way across here, and Harangue did not see it until the last second. He's got to be very careful. However, he does have a decent Dragoon count. There's 3 siege tanks here, quite a few Marines at the front to buffer. And I think Flash is just trying to find a good angle here to attack. I mean, obviously Harangue does have the high ground here, and it looks like he's going to move in here. He's going to snipe one siege tank immediately. There's a mine there. It could blow up a lot of Marines. Harangue's got to be careful. Looks like he's just trying to snipe these siege tanks. Does get 2 of the siege tanks. Oh man, a huge mine getting 2 of the Dragoons though, but I think Harangue will hold this off. It's going to be extremely close here. It looks like... Oh, yes, Harangue is going to be fine, I think. Flash is going to try and target down another Dragoon or 2, but it looks like Flash has actually managed to run a Vulture around. Is he going to get into the main base? Does it have Spider Mines? It does still have 3 Spider Mines. That could do a lot of damage, and it looks like Flash, meanwhile, taking advantage of all the confusion to also save that Siege Tank. So, not the ideal ending there for Harangue, but definitely held it off pretty well. Looks like the Probe's even going to come off and fight that Vulture.
It was a bit unfortunate for Harangue that he didn't notice the Vulture going into his main, because the Dragoon was on the ramp. If he just had his whole position, that Vulture wouldn't have gotten in. But Harangue did an okay job.
Oh no!
Oh, he kills 2 Dragoons to a mine though, when I was just about to say that he held it. Pretty nice.
That... Mines are pretty good, yo. But I still think Harangue's in a decent position. He's got like a 20 supply lead right now, and he's going to clean up these mines in his main base. Oh, man. Wait, what? Why is the KT coach not looking happy about that? Anyway.
Because he loves the game too much. That shouldn't happen.
He's probably a Protoss player himself, so he's just like, stupid Flash being imbalanced. Anyway, Flash is going for the third command center, as we saw there. Going to float that over to the 3 o'clock and hold that fairly easily. Just needs to push out a little bit, kind of hold on to that ridge outside of his natural. He doesn't have a very high factory count, adding on a 3rd and 4th factory now, so he's got to be a little bit careful how he takes this. Harangui's still showing no signs of a 3rd base. Of course, due to their spawning locations, he has to take a further away 3rd than his normal 3rd at the 12 o'clock. Obviously, if he took the 12 o'clock, he'd be expanding towards the Terran, which is generally a bad idea in PvT.
Don't you think the Flash might just straight up lose to this push? I think he has 4 zealots in a shovel, and there's only 2 tanks right there.
A nice command center block by Flash, though. Look at that, very cute. And I don't think there's enough Dragoons on the ground to really support this.
No, I missed out the siege tanks. I thought he only had 2, so yeah, that's not going to work. But the point is, or the thing is, when you push out like Flash did and you lose those initial 3 tanks, you delay your second push timing by a lot. So Harangue can expand safely, which he is doing at the 9 o'clock.
Yeah, he's also delaying this 3rd base as well. Kind of continuing your point. Not only is the second push going to be delayed, but the 3rd base is also delayed because he can't really secure it with this few units. And yeah, it looks like Harangue is going to camp this ridge. Ooh, wait, those are in range? What? He wasn't even standing like on the top edge of the ridge. He was like standing in the middle of the ridge. 2 siege tanks in the main, and he still gets a goon. Oh man, siege tanks. Pretty good,
I've heard
guys.
that they are good. I think they have like 18 in range, 20, 24, something like that. It's ridiculous.
Dude, this is like in what's that Adam Sandler movie, Happy Gilmore? You know, where he's like, he plays golf with a hockey stick and he just like hits the golf ball like ridiculous distances. That's like what siege tanks are. Siege tanks are actually golf players driven by Adam Sandler with a ridiculous range. That's right. Sick analogy. Oh man. My book of analogies is running thin. I'm getting increasingly more ridiculous. Anyway, Flash has sent out some vultures. He's doing a bit of harassment, and meanwhile getting his own 3rd base up. Looks like he's gonna grab a few more goons here. Oh man, Harangue's just bleeding goons to these mines. That is not ideal.
Yeah, that's the 2nd time he lost a Dragoon to a mine when he has an observer present. That's not how you do it, Harangue. At least he has nice gateway placement as usual. That's always something.
Indeed, looks like a Flash on 5 factories. No second armory just yet. That should be coming along shortly, 3 base, 2 armories, 2-1 timing attack. I mean, Flash more or less invented that style, or at least popularized it. And, so beautiful. So beautiful.
And it's not only, I mean, aesthetics, it helps you macro as well when you don't have to move your mouse around as much to select the gateways.
Yeah, definitely. But the aesthetics, man, those are very important as well. Like those gateways are actually rivaling January in beauty right now. So good. Anyway, Harangue is sending like 8 Dragoons down to the bottom left for some random reason. There's not even a Vulture down there for him to clean up. Maybe he's just checking in case there is. Wants to kill a Spider Mine if it's there as well, blocking the Nexus. Anyway, it looks like Flash is going to try and take down this wall. He's focusing down the pylon that he damaged. There's another one behind it, but I'm actually not sure. Okay, no, it looks like he just really wanted to kill that pylon. So that's cool. Meanwhile, Harangue just clearing some more Spider Mines here in the middle of the map, in between the bases.
A lot of gateways. 13 gateways on the 3 bases. Can you even support that?
That's a little bit much. And those top ones look like they're actually trapping units. Are there others not trapping units? He might only make Zealots from there, in which case that'd be fine. That'd be quite funny to see him get Dragoons trapped there. I mean, it almost reminds me of that game that he played against Calm on Electric Circuit that caused CJ to lose to STX, where he like trapped his Reaver into his natural because his building placement was actually not that good. He's actually made an Archon here. What the? Oh man, I mean, he got the Templar tech for Arbiters, but he's actually decided to make an Archon. I guess he just has way too much gas. But, seriously? An Archon?
Yeah, that's strange. Maybe he's just going to try to bust Flash. I mean, he is 60 supply ahead, and he has a
Oh
lot
my
of speed lots. And just reinforced with all those gateways, I think that's what he's...
That is
I guess that's
many
what he's trying
speed
to
lot. I mean, he is taking his 4th base at the bottom left main, but he's lining up his army. He's gonna go for it. The Dragoon's going in first to clear some of these spider mines. The Zealots coming in from behind. He's gonna go in. He's gonna get a huge stasis off on 3 of the siege tanks. But Flash has position on the high ground. He has the buildings out front to block. Is it gonna be enough though? This is gonna be really close. Those 2 Archons are so ridiculous right now. They're not even attacking anything. One of the Archons finally getting some hits on a siege tank, and it looks like Harangi is going to push through here. It's going to be really close, but he's flooding in units from 13 gateways. Flash is actually getting broken here, and he wasn't even being, I don't think he was being that greedy. He actually had like a really nice position on that ramp, but Harangi just with a ridiculous gateway count. Flash actually only on 5 factories against the 13 gateways of Harangi. Harangi gonna at least take down this expansion. Looks like he's brought his units back to finish off the stasis units as they come out. Perfect timing by him actually.
Really nice timing, and this is not looking very good for Flash at all. He's losing his 3rd base. He lost all his siege tank, a few reinforcements, but 13 gateways with speed lots. Oh, Mind Drag! Kills another siege tank, so this is not looking good at all for Flash.
Dude, Action and Hoja are about to have a better playoffs record than Flash. This is just insane. This should not be allowed to happen. Oh my god. And, I mean, looks like Flash is going to kind of stabilize a little bit, but he's had to abandon his 3rd base. I mean, you know, he's still down about 50 supply-ish, and he just doesn't have the factory count to keep up. And I think Harangi's 4th is about to start mining as well.
The funny thing is that Harangi, even though he had those 13 gateways and attacked, he still took a 4th base, and he transferred pro right there now, so he wasn't even all in with this attack. He is having a beautiful position right now.
This actually reminds me a lot of Harangi's game against Stats, where Stats like got a faster 3rd base than Harangi, so Harangi just does like this huge 2-base timing attack, and just kills Stats before he can really get his macro going. I mean, this really feels similar, but you know, as you said, Harangi does have his 4th base up, so even if Flash isn't dead right now, Harangi is just in a fantastic position. Now, having said that, since Flash is not in fact, you know, dead. I mean, as long as Flash is actually still in the game, like, until Flash leaves the game, you still gotta be, you know, playing your heart out, because, I would not put it past Flash to make some kind of ridiculous comeback here, so, Harangi, don't let your guard down, man. Keep making those zealots. Look at that, doing the best style. Mass zealot pump.
Yeah, you can never count Flash out. You should actually change the overlay. Instead of T1, you should write T1000.
I see what you did there. Flash is now analyzing all his possible paths of victory here, and it looks like he's doing a good job with these vessels being kind of patrolling around the possible recall locations, but it looks like Harangi just going to go in the front here. No recall for him, just doing it man style. No, never mind, he's recalling zealots onto the siege tanks. Oh man, so sick. Harangi, I was going to say his army looked surprisingly small there. There were not that many zealots. I thought that was a bad time to attack, especially going onto the high ground, but that is where all his zealots were. Harangi with the sick recall. Showing. Go ahead, Ominous. I'm speechless now.
Yeah, I think that move is so beautiful. I'm surprised that people hasn't done it more before, because recalling on top of the siege tanks.
GG! Flash! He can't believe it. He's probably complaining about Praetos Imba right there. But Flash getting taken down in the playoffs match by Harangi. Harangi gonna go give Onster a hug. Is it just me or is Onster shorter? Oh no, it looks like he's kneeling down or something.
Yeah, it was kneeling. That was weird.
He was so in awe at Harangi's presence that he just had to kneel down, bow his head, and Flash is stunned. He can't believe it. He can't believe it. I mean, Ominous, I want to say you wrote Harangi off here. You see, at the beginning of the game, you're like, oh, when Flash wins. No, man. I had faith in my Protoss brother.
Harangi is a beast, and this is exactly what CJ needs to get back into this series. If they beat Flash, they would get a lot of momentum going into the next game, and yeah, I think that CJ, maybe this is the beginning of the end for KT, at least in this series.
It's like Flash loses and suddenly KT can't do anything. Although to be fair, I mean they beat Team 8 without using Flash, and they took it there, and they what was that series? They played one series, I think it was against somebody, where it went to like a set 5, even though Flash and Stats lost. Anyway, ready with the next VOD?
Yes.
Starting in 3.